The night the world began to end, love was already bleeding. Long before demons revealed themselves, long before cities burned and humanity tore itself apart, Akira Fudo was already losing something precious. He just didn't know it yet. Rain fell in thin, cold sheets as Akira ran through empty streets, his shoes splashing against puddles that reflected broken streetlights. He was late again, late for class, late for life, late for everything that mattered. Kira had always been like this, kind, gentle, painfully human in a world that rewarded cruelty. He cried easily. He apologized too much. And because of that, the world stepped on him without mercy. That night, however, something was different. A sense of dread followed him like a shadow. The air felt heavier, charged, as if the city itself was holding its breath. Akira didn't know that demons had already begun to wake. He only knew that Miki Kuroda was waiting. Miki stood under the awning of her family's apartment building, irritation flashing across her face when she saw him approach. She had always been like this, sharp-tongued, confident, alive in a way Akira could never be. Where Akira shrank, Miki stood tall. Where he hesitated, she acted. To Akira, she was everything he wasn't, and maybe everything he wanted to be. "You're late again," she snapped. I'm sorry," Akira said automatically, breathless, rain dripping from his hair. Miki rolled her eyes, but she didn't walk away. She never did. Somewhere beneath her frustration was concern, and beneath that concern was something neither of them had ever said out loud. They had known each other since childhood, shared meals, shared memories, shared a quiet intimacy that never crossed the line into confession. Love, suspended in hesitation. Love that never learned how to speak. That night, Akira moved into Miki's home, sent there by his parents, who believed the city would be safer for him. They were wrong. The city was already rotting from the inside. The signs came slowly at first. News reports of violent crimes. People tearing each other apart with unnatural strength. Rumors dismissed as hysteria. Authorities blamed drugs. Mental illness? Anything but the truth. Demons were real, and they were hungry. Akira first learned this truth from Ryo Asuka. Ryo appeared like an omen, beautiful, detached, eyes empty of warmth. He spoke of demons as if they were scientific facts, not nightmares clawing their way back into the world. According to Ryo, demons had existed long before humans. They had ruled the earth once. And now, as humanity weakened itself through war, greed, and isolation, the demons were returning to reclaim what they believed was theirs. Akira laughed at first. He always laughed when he was afraid. Then Ryo took him to the Sabbath. The club pulsed like a living organism. Music thundered through the walls. Bodies writhed together in a frenzy of sweat, drugs, and desire. The air was thick with intoxication and something darker, something ancient. Akira felt it crawling beneath his skin. At first, it looked like madness. Then, flesh began to tear. Screams erupted as bodies twisted into impossible shapes. Bones cracked, skin split. People weren't dancing anymore. They were transforming. Demons emerged from within human hosts, ripping free with ecstatic violence. Akira froze. He watched people kill each other with smiles carved into monstrous faces. He watched humanity peel away like a discarded mask. He wanted to run, but his legs wouldn't move. And then a demon chose him.
Pain exploded through Akira's body as something invaded his soul. He screamed until his throat bled. His consciousness shattered, drowned in fire and the rage and the hatred older than civilization itself. But Akira didn't disappear. He fought. Somewhere deep inside the storm of demonic instinct, Akira clung to his humanity, his kindness, his fear, his love for Miki. Against all odds, he didn't lose himself. When he woke, the club was a massacre. Bodies lay scattered like broken dolls. Blood soaked the floor. And the Akira stood in the center of it all, naked, trembling, reborn. He was no longer human. He was Devilman. From that moment on, Akira existed between two worlds. Too human for demons, too monstrous for humans. His body burned with power he never asked for. Strength fueled by a demon's rage restrained only by a human heart. Rio told him the truth without sympathy. The world was headed toward annihilation. Demons would reveal themselves. Humans would panic. And in their fear, they would become worse than any monster. Akira returned home changed, though Miki didn't know how or why. She noticed his silence, his distant stare, the way he flinched at sounds that never bothered him before. Something inside him was breaking, and she could feel it, but she didn't push. Love, again, stayed unspoken. The first time Akira transformed in public, it was to save a stranger. A demon had cornered a family in an alley, clothes slick with blood. Akira's body moved on instinct. Bones reshaped, muscles surged, the demon inside him roared. He killed the creature in seconds, and then the screams began not from relief, but terror. The humans didn't thank him. They didn't see a savior. They saw a devil. Phones came out. Video spread. Fear multiplied. The world learned the word Devilman, and it learned to hate it. As demonic incidents increased, society fractured. Friends turned on friends. Neighbors accused neighbors. Anyone could be a demon. Anyone could be hiding something monstrous beneath their skin. Paranoia became low. Akira watched helplessly as people he once believed in turned cruel. He stopped crying in public, stopped apologizing. Something hard began to form around his heart, not strength, but exhaustion. Through all of it, Miki stayed close. She defended him when classmates whispered. She confronted bullies. She stood between Akira and the world like a shield, even as the world grew sharper and more violent. At night, they talked quietly in her room, voices low, pretending everything was normal, pretending life wasn't already doomed. Miki started posting online, using her voice to push back against the rising hysteria. She spoke against demon hunts, against mob violence, against fear. Her words spread fast, and so did the hatred aimed at her. Threats arrived daily. Akira begged her to stop. "It can't," she sighed. "If everyone stays silent, this world really will end." Akira didn't argue again. He knew she was right. That made it worse. Rio watched everything from a distance, his expression unreadable. He spoke of war between demons and the humans as inevitability, as something beautiful in its honesty. To him, love was a weakness, a flaw that would get Akira killed. Akira refused to listen. Love was the only thing keeping him human, but fate was already tightening its grip. The first public demon hunt erupted after a live-streamed transformation went wrong. A man accused his own brother, friends beat each other to death in the streets. The line between demon and the human dissolved entirely. It didn't matter who you were anymore, only whether the crowd decided you deserved to live. Akira arrived too late to save everyone. He arrived just in time to see what humanity truly was when stripped of rules. Miki watched the chaos unfold on her screen, horror filling her eyes. This was the world she believed in. This was the truth she defended. And now it was devouring itself. That night, she hugged Akira longer than usual. Neither of them spoke. Neither of them needed to. Somewhere far above, unseen by human eyes, something ancient observed the collapse with quiet satisfaction. Love had always been humanity's greatest weakness, and its most efficient weapon. Akira didn't know it yet, but the path ahead had already erased the possibility of happiness. Every step he took toward protecting Miki only brought destruction closer. Every act of love tightened the noose fate had placed around their necks. They tried to escape their love, but the world would not allow it. Love, in a dying world, does not save you. It condemns you. The collapse did not begin with demons. It began with fear learning how to speak. Once the weird Devilman entered public consciousness, reality fractured. Screens flooded with distorted footage, blurry silhouettes tearing through crowds, bodies twisted beyond recognition, blood smeared across concrete like warnings. No more one trusted what they saw, yet everyone believed the worst. The idea that anyone could be hiding a demon inside them hollowed society from the inside out. Akira felt it everywhere he went. Conversations stopped when he entered a room. Eyes lingered too long. Fear sharpened into suspicion, and the suspicion curdled into hatred. He could hear heartbeats now fast, erratic, panicked. Humanity sounded terrified. He wanted to protect them anyway. That was the cruel joke of it all. Even as the world learned to hate him, Akira still loved it, still believed Sir was something worth saving, and that belief was killing him. Miki noticed the change first in his eyes. They no more longer reflected the same softness. Sir was restrained so now, like something violent pressed behind glass. He smiled less. When he did, it looked fragile, forced, like a memory of happiness rather than the real thing. You don't have to carry this alone, she told him one night. Akira wanted to say everything, about the demon inside him, about the blood on his hands, about how every heartbeat around him felt like a countdown. But he stayed silent. He had already become something inhuman. Letting her know would only pull her closer to the edge. So he lied by omission, and the fate watched patiently. As demon incidents escalated, governments collapsed under the weight of panic. Emergency broadcasts replaced entertainment. Militias formed overnight. Ordinary people armed themselves, convinced violence was the only language left. Anyone accused became guilty by default. Trials were replaced by mobs. Mercy became suspicious. Rio observed it all with quiet fascination. This is the real face of humanity, he told Akira, standing above the city, watching fires burn through residential blocks, strip away comfort, and they reveal themselves. Akira clenched his fists. You're wrong. Rio tilted his head. Ayami? The next massacre happened live. A young girl transformed on camera, her scream cutting off as her body ruptured into something monstrous. The comments flooded instantly: fear, rage, exhilaration. Before authorities could intervene, civilians arrived. They didn't wait to see if the demon was dead. They burned the house, everyone inside, including her family. Miki watched the footage on her phone, hands shaking. She didn't cry. She couldn't. Something inside her hardened instead, sharp and furious. She doubled down on her activism, her words becoming more desperate, more dangerous. Stop killing each other, she sighed in one video. This is what the demons want. If we keep going like this, there won't be anyone left. Her following exploded. So did the threats. Akira begged her again to stop. His voice cracked, fear slipping through his restraint. They're watching you. You don't understand how bad this is. You understand exactly how bad it is, Miki sighed. That's why you won't shut up. Laugh turned into friction. Fear pressed against belief. Neither would yield. The night everything truly broke, Akira was too far away to hear Miki scream. It started with a rumor, anonymous post claiming Miki's family was sheltering demons. No more evidence, no more proof, just enough doubt to ignite hatred. By the time Akira sensed something was wrong, the crowd had already gathered. Torches, weapons, phones held high. Miki stood in the doorway of her home, shouting herself hoarse, trying to reason with people who had already decided she was an enemy. Her siblings clung to her from behind. Terrified, her parents tried to push her back inside. Someone threw the first rock, then another. Akira felt it like a blade in his chest. He ran, faster than he ever had. Streets blurred beneath his feet as the demon inside him screamed for release. By the time he arrived, flames were already licking the walls. He transformed without sinking. Devilman tore through the mob in seconds. Bones shattered, blood sprayed. People died screaming, not knowing whether they were being punished or saved. Akira didn't stop to differentiate. He couldn't. The world had become too loud. When the smoke cleared, bodies lay scattered across the street. And Miki stared at him. Her face wasn't afraid. It was broken. She had seen him kill, not as a savior, not as a hero, but as something else. Something she couldn't fully understand anymore. Akira shifted back, collapsing to his knees, shaking. He didn't want Miki walked toward him slowly. She knelt, touched his face with trembling fingers. You came, she sighed softly. Her voice was gentle, that hurt more than fear would have. The media framed the incident as proof that Devilman was real. That demons and the Devilman were indistinguishable. That violence was justified. Public opinion tipped permanently. From that moment on, Akira became a symbol. And these symbols don't get mercy. Ryo taught him the truth at last. The war between demons and the humans wasn't coming. It had already begun. And the Akira was standing in the middle of it. You can't save both sides, Ryo sighed. You'll have to choose. Akira refused to answer, but fate was already answering for him. Demon attacks intensified. Cities fell. Refugees flooded the streets. Humanity armed itself to the teeth, convinced extinction was imminent. The idea of coexistence became laughable. Anyone who spoke of peace was silenced, sometimes permanently. Miki kept speaking anyway. She knew it would kill her. That knowledge didn't stop her. Akira tried to stay close, guarding her from the shadows, killing threats before they reached her. Every night, his body ached with exhaustion. Every morning, the world was worse. He started to lose control. Sometimes, in battle, he didn't feel human at all. The demon's joy bled through ecstasy in destruction, satisfaction in annihilation. Afterwards, he would vomit, shaking, horrified by how good it felt to be strong. Love was no more longer enough to anchor him. Ryo watched Akira unravel with something like anticipation. You see now, he sighed, love doesn't save you. It only gives you something to lose. The final fracture came quietly. One morning, Miki didn't come home. Akira felt it instantly, a hollow silence where her presence should have been. He searched the city in a panic, senses stretched raw. What he found instead was a broadcast. Miki's last message. She spoke calmly, even as chaos raged behind her. If you're watching this, it means he couldn't stay silent. It means he chose to believe in humanity, even when it hurt. Even when it killed me. The screen chewed to static. Akira screamed, not a human scream. Something deeper, something that tore the sky open. The world did not deserve her. And in that moment, something inside Akira finally began to die. Akira found Miki's head at dawn. It rested on a stake, planted at the edge of the ruined city like a warning. Her face was calm, almost peaceful, as if she had simply fallen asleep mid-thought. Blood had dried into dark lines along her cheeks. Someone had wiped her eyes clean. The crowd that had done this believed they were heroes. Akira stood frozen, the world muted around him. His enhanced senses betrayed him. He could smell the iron of her blood, hear the distant chatter of survivors celebrating their own cruelty, feel the vibrations of a civilization rotting from the inside out. This was what humanity had chosen. His knees buckled. He didn't scream. He didn't cry. Those things belonged to the boy he used to be. What rose inside him instead was a silence so deep it erased thought itself. The demon within him stirred, not in rage, but recognition. This was annihilation. Akira lifted Miki's head gently, cradling it as if she might wake. For a brief, delusional second, he imagined her scolding him for being late, for not protecting her better, for believing in a world that never deserved her. The sky darkened. Demons across the globe felt it, an overwhelming pressure, like the universe itself drawing breath. Humans felt it too, though they didn't understand why their hearts suddenly raced, why their hands shook. Akira stood, and the world broke. He transformed fully, without restraint, without hesitation. Devilman rose not as a protector, but as a reckoning. The ground split beneath his feet. Shockwaves tore through the city. Buildings collapsed like paper. The scream that tore from his throat wasn't grief. It was judgment. Akira turned his rage outward. Demon, human, it no more longer mattered. Anything that moved became an enemy. Anything that breathed was complicit. The distinction he had fought so hard to maintain dissolved completely. Love had given him purpose. Loss gave him clarity.